Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. I get a lot of questions about Nikon and, well, Canon too, but talking about Nikon at the moment, Nikon 85mm, your typical portrait lens, and which one to buy. Should they get the 85 f1.8G, which I have here and love it? Hang on one sec. I should have had that out on the desk when I started shooting, but there's the f1.8G. And I show you that for size-wise. I don't have the f1.4G here as a comparison, but it's bigger, obviously, because it's got bigger optics. There it is with the hood on it. So, I love this lens. And people say, well, what about the f1.4G? Should I buy an f1.4? Should I buy the f1.8? Should I buy the older f1.8D? And, or should I even, some people are interested in like an AIS f1.4 or f1.8. So, of interest, though, with this is my favorite, because I think for value, the f1.8G is very hard to beat. It's a very reasonable price. I'll put a link below. You can check it out on Amazon, but I think it's around $450, $500 right now. Very, very reasonable price. Very good build quality, fit and finish. Very nice lens. And if we look at the DxOMark specs, and let me grab some spectacles. If we look at the numbers here, you'll see that comparing the latest and greatest, Nikon's current best 85 is the f1.4G. That's their flagship, their fastest. And if we look at it on the D750 here, it scores out at a 39, and the f1.8G scores out at a 39 as well. For sharpness, the f1.4 just nudges the f1.8 by 1 point. It's 22 versus 21. So, probably the average person's never going to perceive that. You'd really have to test. Where does it make things up? There's some differences in chromatic aberration, vignetting, and distortion, which are actually more favorable on the f1.8, which is why we end up with the scores being the same, 39 and 39. So, interesting that the f1.8G scores as well as the f1.4G. So in my mind, really it's the better value. The only reason to buy the f1.4 is if you need the 2/3 of extra stop on the lens. You're going to get a little bit better blown out background. I would argue that the bokeh quality is no better on the f1.4 than it is on this. So for me, this renders beautiful bokeh, and f1.8 is fast enough either on the D7200 or on the D810 full frame or DX, because the high ISO ability is so great that I'm fine with f1.8. On full frame, I certainly don't need any more shallow depth of field than f1.8. If you want it, if that's your thing, fine, but you're going to pay a huge premium for it. Again, I'll put the links below, you can check it out, but the f1.4 is considerably more money. And I guess what I'm getting at here is don't assume or make the mistake of thinking that the f1.4 is necessarily a better lens. Essentially, it's just a faster lens. So if you want that extra 2/3 of stop of light gathering ability, the shallower depth of field that 2/3 of a stop will give you, by all means, go for it if you want to spend the money. But if you're thinking that you're getting a better performing lens, think again, because the f1.8G is as good a performing lens for a fraction of the cost and is very, very sharp, like on par, 21 to 22 there, which, you could argue 1 point could be the difference in camera bodies or setup or something in the test, right? Like, essentially the same. And just a really, really nice lens for a very reasonable price. What do you guys think? Would you spend more money and get the f1.4? Do you prefer the f1.4? Is the extra money worth it to you? Or, like me, do you think the best value is in the f1.8G and I don't see the need in spending the additional money? I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. Leave your comments below. Let's discuss it. 1.4G, f1.8G, what do you think? Or are you a fan of the earlier ones, the 85 f1.8D, the 85 f1.4D, or going back into the AIS lenses? I've had the 85 f1.8D. It's a nice lens, but I think the f1.8G has enough updates in it that I would never consider it anymore. I was never all that happy with the bokeh quality, the out of focus background area on the f1.8D. I'm very happy with the f1.8G. That's just my shooting experience, having shot with both of them. Let me know what you guys think. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon here at artoftheimage.com.